Resident Evil Remake was originally released on the GameCube in 2002 and was very well received by new players and fans of the original games. Many reviews giving it a positive feedback for its gameplay, chilling atmosphere, and horrifying reimagining of the classic Capcom creepers. Fast forward 13 years later, and Resident Evil Remake was released on the PS4. With the release on the PS4, this meant trophies could now be hunted within the maniacal mansion, and this is what this video is all about. So for this video, I'm tackling Resident Evil Remake's CQC for the Win trophy. In order to obtain this trophy, you have to beat the game with only using your knife. But, and this is a big one, we have other various conditions. We cannot use defense items, no lighter, and no head stomping. Or you're disqualified. Everybody got that? Good. Let's get started.
There are only 3 STARS members left now. Captain Wesker, Barry, and myself. We don't know where Chris is.
I tackled this journey on very easy mode, as I had never done a genuine knife run throughout this game. And as a sign of good times, I skipped the cutscene. Whoops. Oh well, I'm sure no one died in that anyways. The game starts with STARS Alpha team members gathering in the main hall of the spooky Spencer Mansion. The party consisting of Jill Valentine, the character I chose to go through this horrific run, Barry, a sandwich connoisseur of the Valentine variety, and Wesker, a totally trustworthy and unsussy Bakadesu of all time. And Chris.
Hey, Wesker, where's Chris?
Jill, no. You don't want to go back out there.
But we've got to find...
What was that?
So after hearing that gunshot, Wesker tells Jill to go look while Barry volunteers to back us up. Neat. Proceeding into the gameplay at long last, I unequip any guns, especially that infinite pistol. After making my way to the other side of the hall, Barry finds jelly for a sandwich.
Blood.
I never had that brand. Jill getting a little freaked out after Barry's odd obsession with staring at the mess, she decides to go back to the main hall and tell Wesker that Barry's acting a little weird.
That gunfire. I'm counting on you to investigate, Jill.
Or not. While Jill was feeling down, someone decided to come into the dining room and talk to Jill about extended warranties on her car insurance. Barry knows how to haggle.
Get away from him, Jill! He's insane! What the hell?
Worried this monster might be up to no good, we went to tell Wesker that zombies might be making trouble in the neighborhood. We get to the main hall and, Wait, what?
Wesker! Jill, help me look for him. Let's not leave this hall.
Good idea.
Don't worry, Barry. We'll look everywhere for him. We won't leave any suspicious nook and cranny unsuspected.
Well, I've done all I can do.
So after performing a magic trick, Barry offers a lockpick as a sacrifice so we don't steal his soul.
Thanks. I may need it.
After going our separate ways, we get our hands on the arrow, and after saying hello and goodbye to a defense item, we tempt the zombie with a Jill sandwich. And run all the other way around to push the statue to get the blue jewel as I intended to save everybody in this playthrough. Soon reaching the graveyard, we remove the arrowhead and dunk that sucker in the hole, thus opening the way to hell. Or perhaps Dracula's crypt, one of the two. Getting our hands on the cursed book, we return to the main hall and examine it to get the sword key. Going through the first floor, we head our way down to the dog hall and will never go this way again. Same with the rest of this wing of the mansion after getting the one item. Playing as Jill, we avoid needing the small keys via the lockpick and quickly grab ourselves the chemical to use on plants. Great naming, guys. Reaching the other end of the hall, we take a quick right and head towards a safe room. Okay, or a zombie can just bite us. Okie dokie. After getting inside the safe room, we chillax to a wonderful soothing song and rid ourselves of any weapons aside the knife and all things healing. After receiving a kiss goodbye from our zombie roommate, we attempt to juke our neighbor upstairs. With no success. Leaving, we go down the hall to get our hands on the dog whistle as well as the lighter. Even though we can't burn zombies, it's still used to progress the game. Making our way back to the dining hall, we get our hands on the blue Chaos Emerald and then head to the second floor. We use our sword key to unlock the door, and then a lockpick to unlock the other door. And using the whistle, we lure the dog to us, and then we have to knife him dead. So after my mind was scarred, we get our hands on the fake armor key, and you know what that means? Time to solve another puzzle! Oh, and we get interrupted by a Crimson Head, but you don't have to really worry about them. Only 2 show up this whole playthrough anyway. Trapped after taking the key, we slap in the fake and fool the knights, allowing us to take the real key to continue our quest. Dodging zombies while we're trying to find our way, we head over to the tiger room and give the blue gem to the tiger, getting us shotgun shells. Which would be great if this was a normal run. But it's not! We take them to reset the statue, we'll worry about it later, and then we go to the plant room at the end of the other hall, kill it with the chemicals, and we get our first death mask. Ready to go! All the way back to the other side of the mansion, we use the armor key and find ourselves an injured Richard, who's not taking his injuries quite so well.
You're wounded. What did this to you?
A big snake. And it had to be poisonous.
Poisonous?
Since Jill picked a rogue class instead of a cleric, Jill has to find some serum back in the safe room on the other side of the mansion. Lots of back and forth in this game. But moving faster than a blue hedgehog, Jill comes back and gives Richard a shot. And in return, we get a radio. And with Richard... safe-ish? We continue further down and try to find the way to get further into the Mansion of Madness. Using the stair trick to force the zombies to vomit instead of grab, we break on through to the other side and into the room. We go into the room and we use the lighter to light the candles, otherwise we can't interact with anything because somehow it's too dark. The zombie from before didn't take lightly about our trick and came into the room to complain. Move the bookcase, and we have another zombie who's more than willing to help him debate with us. But after one good conga line from Team Fortress 2, we get our hands on the first half of the music sheet and we get out of Dodge. And at this point, we start hunting the rest of the death masks because that's really all we have left before we get to the next parts of the game. So after branding this room with the Mark of Zorro, it relinquishes the jewelry box. Solving another basic puzzle, we get our hands on our second death mask. Haha! 2 more to go. Going back to our usual safe room hangout, Barry just got done playing a raid in Final Fantasy XIV and dropped off some loot that he didn't want. Cool! There's healing items in here. Going through the near broken door, we use the armor key to solve another puzzle. Instead of having to press buttons in order of life to death, like in the original Resident Evil, here we have to hit certain buttons in order to light up colors on the stained glass. This part's actually relatively easy. Just hit the button there of the sword to turn it to orange. Head down the hall and don't push any more buttons until you reach the other side. The next painting you see, push it to turn it green, and then finally hit the next one to turn it purple. Head all the way to the woman at the end, don't push the third button, then head all the way to the end to the woman, push the switch, and the third death mask is ours. Oh, and not just that, we have a shortcut from the graveyard to the east side of the mansion first floor. Yay! We cash in what masks we have, and Jill feels the need to flex her piano skills. Making sure I have the wooden emblem in my inventory, I head down the secret passage that just opened up, get the gold emblem, and then replace it with the wood emblem so I can open the trapdoor and escape. After slamming the gold emblem into the crevice where the wood emblem was, we get, oh drumroll please, another puzzle! For this puzzle, we have to set the needles accordingly, so that way we can open it up. This is really easy. Just set it to 6 o'clock. It will open up, and you get the shield key. So with the shield key in our possession, we go and unlock the only door it has a use for. I am so glad I wasted so much time trying to get this blasted key. And upon entering, we are welcomed by everyone's favorite friend, Yawn the Snake. Oh, and Richard's here too. He wants to say hi to his old friend. But, we really don't have time to waste around here, so we're just gonna take that death mask, Sorry, Richard.
No!
Boss time! After giving the final mask, the chains break and we meet the one behind everything. Old Man Jenkins! Ah, no, I'm just kidding. It's a Crimson Head. If I remember correctly, this is actually Mr. Trevor's. He was the one responsible for building the Spencer mansion in the first place, and got cucked by Spencer, and got trapped in the mansion. And the rest of his family? He's looking to scrap. Oh, please. This is very easy mode. What threat could you possibly be? Oh. So after the most intense game of tag in the universe, we finally put this Crimson Head to bed. Inside the coffin, we get our hands on the stone and metal object, and we go all the way to the other end of the east side so we can get to the back gardens and finally face our greatest challenge yet. A spinning puzzle! But before we can do that, we get a call from Barry, who accidentally lets slip about his fetishes.
Jeans.
So we traverse the graveyard, make our way to the back cabin, get our hands on the square crank. Oh, and we get a concussion. Okay, I don't know who did that, but I'm going to give them a piece of my mind. Who are they? Show yourself! No, thank you! Meet Lisa, everybody. Once a nerdy girl, now turned into an immortal psycho killing machine. Oh, and she wears the skinned faces of all the nurses who she thought was her mother. Charming! We dodge her attack and level up our acrobatics in the process so we can get another radio call from Brad.
Jeremy, just give me a sign. Anything.
Jill to Brad. Can you hear me? It's broken.
Welcome to the back gardens. We got fun and games. After dodging dogs, snakes, and birds, we finally get to the garden labs, where more secrets and more zombies await to... Nope. Red book. No, that's all I know! Trying to get through this door, we get into a cutscene where we overhear people talking.
No, that wasn't part of our deal. But it's not necessary to destroy stars. What about my family? If I play my cards right.
I'm sure that doesn't mean anything. Upon entering, we actually see Barry. He mentions he's getting a little uneasy and decides to leave and go get some air. Okay, buddy, you do you. I trust you. So after getting a residence key, we unlocked it. Hey, Resident Evil. Heh, I get it. So after entering room 1 and going into its bathroom, we acquire the control room key. Time to head on out. Back into the room where we had a discussion with Barry, we move down this ladder, only to push boxes. The life of a STARS member, everybody. So after Jill's nature walk with sharks, we head on over and try to drain the water. And I'm sure absolutely nothing's gonna go wrong. Fuck!
Emergency. Unknown source of pressure detected. Locking all doors to achieve maximum safety.
So after that debacle, we drain the water and now can finally explore the remaining parts, since there's no threat of drowning anymore. Oh hey, it's the shark model they used in Jaws. Oh look, another key. Oh god dang it! No, alright, fine. Let's just drop the electric box down there and flip the switch, killing the shark. And don't worry, this does not count towards being disqualified. So after all that trouble, we go back topside and make our way to the room next door, unlock it, and we unlock the room full of bees! Grab that pesticide, go back to the hall, and run down there. Remove that map, then use the pesticide on the hole. Die, you winged exoskeleton spawn of Satan! Die! Jill, being the master of unlocking, unlocks the special door so that way we can start brewing chemicals. After constructing the V-Jolt, we return to the basement one more time and administer the V-Jolt to the roots. Now it's on to Plant 42. Boss time! After killing the roots with the V-Jolt, it's not really feeling much of a regular boss fight and would rather act out a famous hentai scene. Barry, being a God-fearing man, decided the plant was being too lustful and gave it a taste of the fires of hell. Helmet key get. And since Liquid Snake isn't busy giving Solid Snake codec calls to activate Metal Gear Rex, he's cosplaying as Albert Wesker, giving Jill advice to go back to the mansion and investigate it one more time. Sure thing, buddy. I trust you. One more failed call from Brad, and just to remember that the radio exists, we go back to the mansion only to find... Oh no! And now we have the Hunters, the most dangerous enemy in the game aside the Tyrant, due to the fact that they can one-hit kill you if you're not careful. And even on very easy mode, they can still inflict a lot of damage, so yeah, be careful around these guys. Using the key on the last few doors, we get the jewelry box and solve ourselves a puzzle to get the yellow and red Chaos Emeralds. Since we're rescuing Chris, we're gonna need these. We slap the yellow gem into the tiger so that we can get the MO disc, which is the first step in rescuing Chris. Then we take the red gem, put it in the box, solve the puzzle, and we get our hands on the Spencer Mansion key. Back in the Knight's room where the armor key was, we go past and open up the door with the helmet key, and then enter the library. At last, I could finally take out my favorite book, Boku no Boss Time! So after the suggested boss emerges, we engage in one of the most intense and brutal boss fights known in the game. Thrilling. Since this snake is the closest we get to a bookworm, we are rewarded the last book, Volume 2. Time to get out of here. All the way on the other side of the mansion, we use the helmet key and enter the last door. Upon entering further in the new area, it immediately tries crushing us with the weight of our sins. But with clever thought, we deny God a karma check and head to the well to find the lens of truth. I mean the Lost Book, Volume 1. Yeah, that's totally what I meant. After escaping death in my worst nightmare, Round 2, we get to the kitchen and make our way up the elevator for a much-needed item. The battery for the elevator in the gardens. Huzzah! Stopping by Spencer's personal room and reading his diary, we grab the metal object and head on out of here so we can go to the depths of hell. Cross the bridge, slap the battery, use the elevator, put the dam back up, and we can go past the waterfall and down the ladder. Why can't we just walk through it? Who knows? Going down these caves, we eventually find Enrico, the leader of Star's Bravo team. Oh boy, I'm sure he has plenty to tell, and we got a lot of character development to go through and...
Enrico!
No, well, never mind. Wrenching the crank from his body, we avoid his now distraught hunter-lover to grieve as we crank the passageway and move further down the caves. So after pulling off Indiana Jones and denying Boulder's another person to crush, we go through the new way and... Boss! No! Now free of our phobias, we redo the boulder dodge and solve another Zelda-esque puzzle for the cylinder. Bye, Black Tiger! I hate you! Now back in the room before Enrico's new tomb, we combine the cylinder with the shaft and punch in the number combination 4231. Oh, and Barry shows up. So we go further underground. We hear the ring of chains, and Barry wants to go, but he doesn't want to out himself as a monster enjoyer, so he asks Jill to do it for him instead. Oh look, Lisa! Must have heard the clapping of Jill, cause she is hounding for them buns. And move the box to a transport. Why don't we ride that as well? It's beyond me. You know what? Let's go ask Barry what he thinks.
Barry!
Oh, I'm sure he just had to use the bathroom, that's all. Ah, well, then we'll go the long way. After pushing this box and breaking a perfectly good flamethrower, we do-si-do around Lisa again and manage to enter her room and find a stone frame and a journal confessing her love for Barry. As well as yearning to wanting to find her true mother, you know, the same stuff. Like ripping the faces off of nurses because they're not her real mom. The usual. With the stone objects, we combine it and get the metal object and another stone and metal object. With that, we grab the one we left behind, and it's time we head to the last area of the game. Unlocking the doors, we get to, and repeat this, go into a cave! And the Barry, who tries to make us have a talk with the business end of his gun, but he forgot Jill is the master of disarming and she yoinks that shit. Boss time! Lisa decides now is the time to confess her love to Barry, and Barry wants none of that. So now we have to push these 4 pillars down to end this fight quick, and Barry will no doubt cover us. All we have to do is...
Oops.
As I said, we push the pillars and Lisa finds her real mother at long last. Barry suggests we move on ahead, and since he betrayed us once and held us up at gunpoint, I'm pretty sure we could trust him still. And once slapping in the wolf and eagle medals into the correct spots, we can now go to the last area of the game. The underground laboratory. And here we are at long last, the underground labs. Passing through zombies, we grab the second ammo disc and head over to the computer room and type in the passcodes to unlock the doors and continue on to get the third ammo disc. Dun 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 dun! Grab the power key from the first floor room and find out that Liquid Snake is evil and wants to turn Raccoon City into the new outer heaven. With our progress saved, we now deal with the only chimera I wish to fight. So after killing the Proto Las Plaga monster, we get the fuel canister. Now it's time to play everyone's favorite part, moving a highly explosive object from one side of the map to the other. And if you run, or you get attacked, or you attack, you explode and die. You may have also noticed that there's zombies down here, purposely made to screw you over at this particular point. Before you fill that capsule, do yourself a favor and kill everything in the path that you tend to take. Zombies won't be able to respawn as Crimson Heads quick enough, so if you do that before fueling the canister, you should be fine. And with that, let's go. Thrilling. Done with that shit. We head into the generator room and we turn that sucker on at long last. Having saved, we head down for the second to last boss fight, but we run into Barry once more. Oh, and look, it's Liquid again. God damn it, Barry. So Wesker takes this time to dump some bombshells on us, how he's responsible for the death of Enrico, kidnapping Barry's family even though he technically didn't, and ultimately betraying Umbrella, but before he could say goodbye, Barry clears his QuickTime event and shoots Albert in the shoulder. Damn it, you should have shot him in the head, Barry! So the tyrant decides to bitch slap Wesker like he's Sonic and wants him to lose rings.
Premature.
He also decides to slap Barry in the same fashion. Alright, how tough can this guy be? Bring it on! Oh. So after doing this trick here, where you just stab him once, wait for him to turn around, and then run past him as animation is happening, stab him again, and rinse and repeat, he finally goes down, and we win! We revive our downed Barry and discover that Wesker ran off so that he can have his final showdown with Solid Snake at the end of Metal Gear Solid 1, Twin Snakes.
Snake, did you like my sunglasses?
With the self-destruct sequence activated, we head back to the door that needed the ammo discs and we find a caged Chris inside. Making our way upstairs, we get a call from Brad one last time and obtain the battery. We slap it in for the elevator and we get attacked again. Oh goody! Seeing Barry and Chris decide that, hey, we're not doing the knife-only challenge, we'll take things from here. You go on ahead, Jill. Doing so, we get to the helicopter pad, grab the flares, and activate them for the final showdown. Boss time! Before we can actually escape, Tyrant emerges once more as his final form. Super Tyrant! Bitch slapping Chris out of the way, it's up to Barry and Jill to put him down for good this time. This shouldn't be too hard, just don't get hit, he says as he gets hit multiple times. If you have to, let Tyrant get distracted by Barry before you go in for attacks. Once enough damage is done, Brad will drop the rocket launcher and ask Jill to use it to kill the Tyrant. This is the only way to end the game, and this does not count towards the knife-only challenge, so you can pick that up aim at him, and we can go hasta la vista, baby. This nightmare is over. Oh. Yeah, if you're not careful, Tyrant can actually deflect all your missiles and you can lock yourself out of beating the game. So you gotta wait for him to be distracted by Barry or stun locked after a certain attack. Fire at him and kabootsie! And with that, we escape the mansion, it explodes, and everyone lives happily ever after. Especially me, because
Fine job.
bada bing, baby! We got the trophy! Oh, hey, what's this? And we get a twofer! Woohoo! Alright guys, that's the end of this video. 2 trophies. I thought I was only gonna get the first one, but hey, you know what? I love the results. Speaking about that stuff, if you liked the video, be sure to leave a like. And if you want to see more of these videos, be sure to subscribe and leave comments about what part you liked and if you do want to see more. I still tend to do Let's Plays. I just wanted to experiment with a new video format that I've never done before. So if you guys really do like it, please let me know. And yeah, if enough people like it, I will do more trophy videos. Not much else to say except I'm Matt, host of the Gaming Cabana, and I will see you all in the next video. Whatever one that is. Bye!